Hello and welcome to my talk shop. I don't know if talk shop does it for me. On my very first podcast, where Suchi and Wendy accompanied me, and we went into a 45-minute discussion of little things, big things, and everything in between. And towards the end of the podcast, we were deciding on a name, and talk shop sounded pretty cool. But what's occurred is I've actually gone to Spotify, and on Spotify, for example, when I Google talk shop, there are several talk shops, and which doesn't make it unique enough, even though it sounds great and I like the way it sounds, and I love Suchi, and the reason why I love Suchi is because I think she's a fabulous woman with a very kind heart, and she supports her friends or the people she loves, and she does that with a lot of grace, and I appreciate all her input and life experiences that she shares with me, and I appreciate that to the utmost. But where this particular name is concerned, the talk shop, I don't know. It's sort of fading and losing its appeal, and the more I listen to it, or the more I say it, the less enthusiastic I feel. But anyway, I see how it goes, and I can change the name going forward, depending on what I come up with, and so be it. Anyway, I just pulled up. I'm currently going shopping, and I thought I'd pull up, and the reason why I'm pulling up is this whole conversation about courtesy and about just people's well-being, and taking other people into consideration, which we don't do. Many of us don't do, and I have failed to do on occasions. My life has been basically, very much to do with me and how I am developing my body, my mind. Not so much my career. I'm pretty happy with my life. I'm pretty okay financially. I can't complain. I have a decent enough home. I've got a wonderful mother who is quite generous with who she is and her emotions, and our relationship has built in the last decade. I have a good enough family. I can't complain. I am currently seeing somebody, and hopefully I don't jinx it. It's very effortless. We seem to communicate quite well. We are in this not to change each other, but it so happens that it seems like we accept our flaws, and we nurture each other's I think good characteristics, and we explore each other quite well, emotionally, physically, and we try to make sure that we are comfortable in each other's company, which I think is so very important for most relationships, actually for all kinds of relationships. Whether you're straight, gay, whether it's a mother-son relationship, father-daughter relationship, uncle, aunties, grandparents, grandchildren. It doesn't matter on the relationship. I think it's very important that we sit down and obviously build those relationships that are crucial and critical to our well-being. And when I say well-being, it's emotional and physical. I'm not, at the same time, I'm not saying to ignore people who seem to have baggage. There's a lot of conversation nowadays that goes around negativity, and it depends on the negativity that a person's dealing with, and I don't call it negativity, I call it baggage, because sometimes we go through life and we stack on so much, and we experience so much that it does have a detrimental impact on our lives, and we but can't help sometimes get absorbed or get consumed by this so-called baggage, or what others would call it is negativity. I personally don't think baggage is is negative or baggage is harmful to the other person. It is only harmful if you don't lighten that baggage, if you don't sit down and think of what you should keep and what you should, when I say keep, what you should learn from. So baggage is essential for growth. So when I look at my life and when I look at my mistakes and my flaws, that is baggage in a way, and that is carried with me on a daily, weekly basis, and I have to make sure that I am not giving my or handing my baggage onto somebody else. So I have to make sure that I'm able to carry my burdens, and I'm able to deal with my burdens, and I don't make other people responsible, and which at times I have done. There will be occasions where I have pointed fingers and I have said, "Oh, it is because of you that I am in such a predicament." But life gives you opportunities to actually change or maneuver or navigate through your issues and find solutions, obviously within reason. There are problems that unfortunately there is no solution, and we just have to bear those issues and navigate or just manage that load as we go along in life. But the reason why I started this conversation was I was talking about basically us having a conscience and us making keeping other people in mind, and being aware of our community, being aware of our surroundings. And the reason why I jumped onto this podcast this afternoon is because I was driving and I was driving down Parramatta Road, and I could see ahead of me there were three cars on a left road that sort of intersects with Parramatta Road, and I was like 200 meters away, and these three cars were not being allowed to actually join in onto the main traffic, and I was thinking why. Because I was thinking if each driver or if each vehicle gave one car way, then there wouldn't be those three cars lined up for 5 or 6 minutes, because that's how long it took for me to get to them, because it was a hell of there was traffic. And I was thinking about life. If we just gave way to certain people, some of the times, or depending on the situation, we just gave way and just allowed people in, I don't think that would be much of an inconvenience. What that would do is that would help to release any sort of clogging, and we can then share our lives quite effectively with people who actually and make time for people who actually require time and space, because not all of us are born to be Usain Bolts of the world, or Shane Warnes of the world, or Navratilova, for example. These elite athletes are genetically built, so whatever effort they put in enhances whatever they already have. So somebody like me, for example, however hard I tried, I possibly could never be, or will never be, somebody like Usain Bolt, because genetically I don't have certain benefits that Usain Bolt, and this is not taking away or diminishing his credibility. This is just basically stating facts that any physician or any doctor will basically tell you, that it is genetics plays a big part in our lives. Sometimes we can change how we emotionally feel, or how we emotionally respond to certain activities in our lives, or certain incidences, or we can change certain habits. We can certainly do that, and yes, genetics and nature and nurture plays a part, and the environment plays a part, but we do have more of a control over certain activities. But when it comes to are physical, and when genetics plays a greater role, then no. So we can only enhance those abilities, and therefore certain genetic traits that Usain Bolt may carry, I may not, and therefore he is in the better position to be a superior athlete, for example. So what this comes down to is us being able to share our lives consciously with those who require it, and those who need help, and those people who need assistance. And sometimes I think baggage is not to be frowned upon, and we loosely say negative feelings or people with negative attitudes. We need to understand why those negative attitudes occur. Are we causing it? Could I be the reason for somebody having negative feelings? And if that is the case, I should be responsible, and I should go out of my way to try to understand and try to make sure I'm able to address that negative situation and provide a solution, which I, in most cases, I possibly could. Now, some people will take solutions on board. Others, and I put this down to sometimes others who are not very effective in choosing right from wrong, and rather they stay in bed and play video games than go out and understand the world or learn the world. And those are the people that I would try to stay away from, because if I am giving you a solution, if I'm giving you my hand, and if I'm trying to assist you, then I would like to see some sort of progress or some sort of initiative coming from you, so that so that my motivation builds, so that I'm able to, walk alongside you, so I'm able to still provide you with the benefits that I've been given, so that I can share my benefits with you, so that I can make your life easier. And I think to be conscious of who we are and who we impact is so very crucial. And I think we need to make sure that we do lend a helping hand, and we are not deterred from the so-called negative word that this narrative that we are so cautious around. And I think we need to be able to put our best foot forward, so community is helped, people are helped, and those who genuinely require our assistance are helped. And that's the whole reason why I came onto this podcast this afternoon, is only because it's something as simple as me driving on a busy road. I could, me giving way to one or two cars in front of me takes away a couple of seconds of my life. If I did not give way to those two or three cars that were waiting to join this traffic, I would basically be taking 5 or 6 minutes away from their lives, or maybe 10 minutes away from their lives. So in me sacrificing a few seconds, I'm basically enabling them to achieve something in their lives, if that makes any sense. But anyway, that's done for this afternoon. I am losing my voice because I have been a tad bit unwell with the chest congestion that I've been fighting for a couple of days. Anyway, love you all. Stay well, stay blessed, and just let us try to be better people as we progress in life. Look after yourselves.